What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today. Happy Veterans Day, everybody. It is the 11th day of November, and here we are sitting at about $0.00676 right now, 9 hours and 20 minutes left in the day. We have broken out of our little triangle here. I think that it's obvious that we have broken out. All we're doing right now, I think, is back testing, and then we're ready to rip. If we look at this on a 4-hour time frame, it becomes, to me at least, increasingly obvious that this is a bullishly implied pattern, right? And we typically do break out of these to the upside. Yes, we're outside of this a little bit to the downside, but you guys know how I feel about diagonal lines. It's typically not here that you should buy, but right below the line that you should buy. That's probably the best time to buy right there. So I do think we're just back testing prior resistance here. It's sloppy, but we've got a low market cap, low liquidity. That's probably going to be sloppy, and I do expect that we continue to run higher. Let's look at the 1-hour time frame here, and then we'll zoom out from there. 1-hour time frame, looking at the RSI. We're at the same areas now that we found support before when we were at this kind of low end of this range here, right? We've been moving up since the 4th, and on our last kind of low range from our last like high to low, that's where we were here in the RSI, exactly here right now. Same thing in the stochastics being oversold, and the MACD was right at the zero, just like we are now. We do have bullish divergence on the 1-hour MACD as well, something to note there. So definitely expecting that we move higher from here. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this day we are at higher levels. Now Bitcoin's moving down a little bit, and it can move down. We could move down another like $500 or $600. Maybe in that time, maybe OnyxCoin drops a little bit more. But I do expect that by the end of the day we'll be at higher prices than where we are now. We'll be back above 007. That's my thoughts. Did we close above 007 yesterday? Oh, so close. So very close. So very close. We're gonna get there though. Okay. 4-hour time frame here. It'd be nice if we got there today. 4-hour time frame, looking at the RSI. We do have higher lows and higher highs overall. It does look as though the structure has been broken a little bit, right? It's as if this has been broken a little bit, but still overall higher lows. You're at an area where it wouldn't be crazy to bounce here. 1 hour and 18 minutes left. Let's just see if you can pull this 4-hour candle back up and close it green. I think that would look really good. And again, the 1-hour time frame, all of these are suggesting that we are at a place to bounce. So I see no reason why over the next hour and 18 minutes we can't move up higher. I think that we could. This would actually be a really good level to bounce from. While the RSI looks like it's bent down right here, if we were to close this candle green, we'd be pushed up, and that would look like a bounce right off the 50, and that's fine. I mean, we literally did this last time, and then we went all the way up to the overbought zone. So I would expect another drive to the overbought zone from here. Would be a deeper reading, not a more shallow reading. That's what I would expect. The stochastics on the 4-hour tell a different story. They say, hey, we're going to go a little bit lower. It's not time to bounce yet. Right? We have bounced in this area before, but we probably go a little bit lower. So in all fairness there, the 4-hour time frame is saying that. Let's look at the fibs. Let's just see where we are based on our fibs. Low here to a high there. I mean, we're right at 382. We look productive as hell. I don't know. Someone's lying. Is it the RSI or the stochastics? Maybe the RSI isn't lying. Maybe it's telling us the truth after all. Right? Maybe we are just breaking this structure, and with that, we have lower to go. With that, we'll bounce somewhere that makes more sense. Instead of below the 50, maybe we bounce at the 40 or even at the oversold area. Lower readings like that would definitely promote lower price, in which case I would think we go down to about 0.065 or 0.066, somewhere in that area, right? Nothing crazy from here. Find support at prior support here, somewhere in this range, right? Kind of in the heart of this range overall, and then we move up higher. That'd be my thoughts. It does look like we're breaking out of this to the downside, right? But there's no volume, there's no follow through. And this is the third 4-hour candle in a row that we've been below this trend line. So I don't think, even if we push lower, I don't think that this is going to break us out and take us to lower lows. I just think it'll be some kind of bear trap before we move higher. That's all my thoughts are saying right now. The MACD did cross above the zero. Okay, so this is something that we look forward to, right? The MACD crossing above the zero on the 4-hour time frame. Whenever this happens, we typically consolidate for about a day and a half or more, right? We've been consolidating now, I guess, since this day. Consolidating here for seven candles. That's about a day and a half, almost, right? So we could keep moving down. We could be in this area. We should be moving up, I think, as early as tomorrow, if not the next day. That'd be my thoughts. This 4-hour MACD tells me we're going to move higher. With that, even if we move down or we chill here, our oscillators here and our RSI will cool off more, give us more oomph to run. And I would expect that this next move up, right, from a low to a high, this is our move here. I would expect this next move is going to be bigger and faster. So we're probably going to approach 1 cent. Again, I would think by the end of this week. If we're not at 1 cent, we'll be just below it, but somewhere around there nonetheless, or just above it. Daily time frame here, the RSI is out of the overbought zone officially. We still have lower highs. That is something to consider. Could we come down and form bullish divergence, get a higher low there, and maybe get a lower low in the price? It's possible. If we get a lower low in the price, I wouldn't think that we get a lower low here. I would just think we get a lower closing low, in which case we could close below 0.063, but I'm not seeing that happen. That seems too low for me. Just because it seems that way doesn't mean it can't happen. I mean, we could close down below there today, and if we do, cool. We've got bullish divergence on the daily RSI and on the MACD and probably on the stochastics as well. I just don't see that happening. I think if we were to do that, we would have, with this breakout of this kind of like trend line here, we would have seen more volume come in. We would have picked up the pace by now. That's my thoughts. We wouldn't be straggling right here if we were to see prices below this low, or even to close below that low there. Stochastics are bullish. The MACD is bearish overall. Let's be fair. You're at points where you do like to bounce on your oscillators. That's the only like positive thing I can think of. Stochastics are definitely bullish. This implies we have days of growth to go, or at least days, if not weeks, before we go below this low again. And I don't think that we go below this low. I'm just saying if we do go below this low, we've at least got days or weeks before that happens, before we reset and then we come down. I don't think that we're going to, though. I think that we're just going to move up from here. RSI chilling. Not really a whole lot to go off of here. It'll be a big deal once the downward structure is broken here. Once these lower highs are broken, which we're kind of doing, actually. Hey, we're kind of doing it now. I want to see us higher, though, before we get too excited, right? Really, it's once we're back above 1 cent that it's time to get excited. Once we're back above 1 cent, then I'd be excited. Until then, we remain skeptical. We could be forming some kind of inverse head and shoulders, right? Where you move up here, you consolidate like this for however long. It's like a bull flag, and then we move up higher, right? And in the midst of that, you have this left shoulder, right shoulder, head. I don't know. And that in itself would have bullish implications. Maybe we're not forming an inverse head and shoulders, but just a thought here. Whenever I see sideways and then down, and then we talk about moving up to the same area, it implants that thought that maybe we get a inverse head and shoulders. I don't know. And if that were true, then it would be perhaps December that we actually break out, which would be kind of discouraging, right? It would be until December that we see prices that are above like 1.3 cents. But whatever, at this point, I mean, 1.3 cents is about 100% move up, so we'll take it. That's not bad, even in the month of November. I would expect that we're higher than that, though. I do expect that by the end of November, we'd be probably closer to not 1.3 cents, maybe 1.3 to 1.4 at a minimum. That's where I think we'd be by the end of November, but I think that we'll be above 2 cents, or at least around there, but we'll see. Wouldn't it be great if we just picked up the pace like we have in the past, and it was the end of November and we're all the way up at about 5 cents? That would be spectacular. I would love to see that. But I think those prices might be more reserved for December, but we'll see. Anyways, guys, weekly time frame here. RSI is at the lowest levels that it's been since really 2023. And I think that means that we're ready to move up as well. Stochastics have been oversold for a while, ready to move up. The MACD, oh, did we get it? Did we get it? Did we get it? No, we did not. We did not get it. Nope, we had a lower low here. There is still some like form of bullish divergence here. I don't know. I just don't like whenever we see a lower low building here. I would have rather it been a higher low. You know what I mean? But that's okay. Whatever. Still some type of bullish divergence nonetheless. And the MACD, I think, is ready to turn around as well. So we're just waiting on that. And whenever we do turn around, whenever we do break out, the expected outcome should be something toward our all-time highs, if not just below or just above our current all-time highs, which by this chart would be 10 cents, 11 cents, but by the actual all-time history of this chart would be closer to about 18 cents, somewhere up there. So from the current price, we're looking by the end of the year, I mean, to be at like a 27x higher. If not by the end of the year, then maybe by the end of January. That'd be the expectation there. By the end of this next move, which at the latest should be January. That's my thoughts. Anyways, I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Key areas to watch going forward will be, 1 cent is a big deal. Getting above 1.4 cents is a big deal. And then, of course, ultimately getting above this level here, right at like 1.9 cents, 2 cents will be a big deal. Once we're above all of these thresholds, once we're above really like 1.9, 2 cents there, then it's go time. then it's time really to start thinking about where our all-time highs are at about 18 cents. That's where we're going to go to. And what's great about this is, even if you don't believe in OnyxCoin, even if you don't think that from here at these lowest points, I get it, right? It's hard to buy here. It's really easy to buy here. It's really easy to buy here, but it's hard to buy in times like this. What's great about OnyxCoin is, even if it's hard for you to buy right now, let's imagine you don't buy until it's above 2 cents, it's at like 2.2 cents. If we're right in our assumptions and we at least go, let's say we at least go to like 12 cents, 14 cents, it's still a 6x. And if we're right and we go to 18 cents or higher, I mean, that's an 8x. So there's a lot of grounds for forgiveness here. Even if you have no faith, even if you're just letting your bags ride, you could still add to your bags up here and catch a nice pump even with that by the end of this move. Anyways, I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves, all right? I'll see you on the next one.